Good evening, good evening. Fireworks peach cobbler. Youngest daughter got me for Father's Day. Going in this newly acquired Meerschaum pipe. That I got for a steal. At one of the local smoke shops in Cobb County, Georgia. The reason why I say I got it for a steal is because the price tag for this particular Meerschaum was $341. And the attendant in the pipe shop, because of how long it had sat in the shop, the 3 was faded, but it still could be seen if you had pretty decent eyesight, which I'm not sure he had, because he saw just the 41, not the 3. And so me trying to be upstanding, I stretched out the little sticker that was on the bottom of this stem, because it was kind of curled up from being on there so long and faded and everything. And I opened it up, I said, yeah, that's a 3 in front of that 42. And he leans over the counter and says, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's a 41. So I said, well, I tell you what, brother, if that's what you ringed it up as register, I ain't gonna argue with you. And ended up getting out of there with a $341 pipe for $41. I suck him come around every day. So $300 discount. My old world pipe that I got in Charlotte, North Carolina at McCraney's pipe shop. I don't know if y'all seen my other video, but it's an awesome shop so far. Out of all the years I've been going to shops, acquiring and collecting, that's been the most diverse shop I've been to, where you not only can get pipes, was where I didn't get this from. I got a couple other pipes I'm gonna do in a separate video. Some really nice briar pipes that I got, but I ended up getting this old world pipe. That's a Japanese old boy, and I got one of these, so I'm gonna do a separate video with all of the stuff I acquired when I went to McCraney's in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. McCraney's by far my favorite tobacconist and tobacco shop. When I first discovered Briarworks Peach Cobbler many years ago, it was at a shop in Tucker, Georgia, called Puffin Stuff, where they specialized in cigars, cigar accessories. They had a really nice cigar lounge, but they also had a good amount of pipe tobacco, pipes, and pipe accessories. And hadn't been there for a couple years, just to moving to an hour out, and then moving back 2 years later to find out that they really don't cater to tobacco pipes anymore. So I wasn't able to get any more of the peach cobbler from Briarworks. So when I went to McCraney's and saw the selection of tampers, which I bought a couple of them, I'll show in another video, old boy pipes of various varieties and companies, estate pipes that look brand new for reasonable prices, very good quality, very good brands, and their selection of pipes just in general was crazy. So if you see that video that I posted with their shop, what I showed in the video was just probably on maybe half of the variety they had in stock when I went there. But back to this Meerschaum pipe. As you can see, it's very detailed, very adorned Meerschaum pipe. Very good size, a pretty deep bowl. I think it gets up to my pinky, probably right to where my ring is. And this stem is not the typical twist-on stem that you get from a lot of the Meerschaum pipes that are not acrylic stems. This one actually, you just twist a little bit, it pulls straight out. It has that plastic stem sticking into the Meerschaum. The part that twists is glued inside the stem, and then the piece on the inside is glued inside, of course, so you're not pushing into the raw Meerschaum. But I think this is going to patina really well. Even when it gets warm, it's only right here around where the bowl is. Everything else remains cool. So it'd be nice to see how that patinas with the heat only being in this area here when it does get warm. I haven't posted in a while as concerning my switch with tobaccos. This is probably the only loose tobacco I've smoked in a long time, because I switched over to the flakes, the medallions, the coins, the pretty much pressed tobacco, because I think the flavors are more fuller and they smoke cooler. Just due to not having all the moisture in them. Not to say that they're dry, but they're the consistency they need to be to give you a cool smoke. I just enjoy them better. Me smoking this peach cobbler is more of a nostalgia, and knowing that it's not very easy to find that Briarworks peach cobbler, which has a very excellent room note that you can actually taste when you're smoking it. Please stay tuned for my next videos that come out. I try to get to them as soon as I can. I've been working a lot lately, and I get in late at night, so it's kind of hard for me to get my mind focused into being able to focus on recording a video and it actually being interesting, you know. So I want to make sure that I'm able to focus on them when I do them. But I acquired 4 different pipes over the past, I'd say 2 to 3 months. Actually, no, because I purchased 2 estate pipes in Hiram, Georgia, before I went to the Carolina. And when I say you can see a big difference in those estate pipes compared to the 2 I purchased in McCraney's out in Charlotte, North Carolina. Big difference. When I say I didn't even realize though that I was looking at estates until I saw the price and looked up to see the sign on the table saying estate pipes, I was blown away. Matt does a really good job of making sure he gets good quality things in and putting reasonable prices on them. He seems to have a really good relationship with a lot of the pipe and tobacco makers or producers. He also has tobacconists that produce tobacco for him. I purchased about an ounce or 2 of his flake, and it was pretty decent. If I remember correctly, he said he gets it from a guy in Germany that does it for him and sends them over to him. And then he had his version of the Medallion Virginia with Cavendish in the middle. His version of Stokerby's Medallion flakes. And then I keep those same Stokerby flakes in my possession because I love the flavor of them. I didn't purchase any of that. But again, I digress. Shows you how much I enjoyed McCraney's. Went there twice, 2 weekends in a row. But yeah, this pipe actually smokes really good compared to some other Meerschaum pipes I've had. And this one actually has the maker's name carved into it on the rear of the Wizards. You're probably not gonna be able to see it without it being blurry. On the Wizards robe, it's S.A. I think it says Beyaz, B-E-Y-A-Z, B-E-Y-A-Z, Beyaz. Being that I've only had a few Meerschaum pipes over the years, and first couple ones I had weren't very good as far as the draw holes, so they didn't smoke very well. I'm not very familiar with the names of some of these makers when it comes to these really ornate carved Meerschaums. But if you're familiar with them, let me know in the comments. I've also kind of moved away from the loose tobacco because no matter what pipe I put it in, it tends to smoke faster. It burns a lot hotter because of the moisture that tends to be in loose tobacco when you have flavors to it. You don't have a whole lot of flavor tobacco when it comes to pressed tobacco, flakes, medallions, coins, rolls, whatever, however you want to call them. It's mostly Virginia's, Cavendish, your English. I believe they have Orientals with press. I haven't tried any of them lately. If you know any really good ones, let me know in the comments. I can imagine they probably have some good Perique press as well. Happy Father's Month to all the fathers out there. Hopefully you're able to enjoy this month with your loved ones. I know I have been. I've been very blessed to have my youngest daughter staying with me before she gets prepared to go off to college and join her sister at the same university. Time flies really fast, so I don't take that for granted. Try to make sure I'm available for them anytime they want to spend time with their old man. Because once they get their own personal lives and start branching out as young adults, you know, no telling what time and space will bring. So I count every second a blessing with them. It's funny, I'm always talking with people about how these smartphones listen to your conversations, whether you realize it or not. Because every time I have a conversation about some specific category with, you know, one of my people, I open up my phone and same thing we've been talking about will pop up on my phone. Perfect example. Right after I got this Meerschaum pipe, and I'm talking to other people about it, I open up my phone, go to Facebook Marketplace, and one of the first two things that pop up, Meerschaum pipe. Somebody selling a used one with more char on the walls than this one for $350. Needless to say, I'm pretty sure I go back on there in about another week or so and see that they haven't sold it, because they got a price on there for a brand new Meerschaum when they're selling, obviously selling a used one. It was a decently decorated one, not as detailed as this one. It just was a head of a guy with a beard, and coming down one side of the bowl, the ponytail with hair. Just that's it. And the typical amber stem on it. Something that probably would have sold quickly had he posted it for more like 120 to 150 would have been used. It seemed to be a pipe that was patina, still white. But like I said, the bowl was black. So it was obviously smoked multiple times. And probably not cleaned. It's good to get outside and relax, wind down, especially with Monday getting ready to roll back up on us. It's good to de-stress before you have to go back in. Got water not too far from here, so you get to hear the frogs. Every once in a while you hear ducks. And of course you'll constantly hear the cicadas. And the crickets. in a deep bowl. It's done already. And loose tobacco burn really quick. And the bowl is fairly hot around this area here. So it'll take me a good while for that patina to start showing up and being obvious. I haven't smoked any of my flake in it yet. But you bet I will be pretty soon. We'll see how that goes. If it's a little difference in the cool or smoke with those flakes. But with that bowl being finished, I bid y'all a good day and a good night. Y'all have a positive, progressive weekend. Until next time, peace and blessings. Jack Jazz.